Okay, so we saw the live-action Ghost in the Shell movie, and we have a lot of feelings.
We'll tell you what we thought about it, but first, subscribe to GameSpot Universe because we'll have more Ghost in the Shell videos coming to you soon.
That's right, and we can't do this video without spoilers, so big warning, there are a lot of spoilers ahead, so keep watching if you don't mind that, otherwise come back after you've seen it. Big spoilers. Watch out. So if you're not familiar with Ghost in the Shell, it's based on a manga and an anime.
There's a 1995 anime movie, and there's also a series called Standalone Complex, and it draws from both of those.
And there are a lot of scenes that are just pretty much lifted right out of the movie.
Shot for shot,
Yeah,
which is cool.
That is very cool,
Yeah.
and I actually do like that a lot.
Yeah.
So there's the scene with this water fight, which really is very cool.
Iconic water
Yes.
fight, like the shelling sequence from the beginning of the movie, the scene where she's kind of getting intimate with a lady from Standalone Complex. There's a lot of really cool stuff for anime fans if you want to see those parallels.
Yeah, so we like the art direction,
The
right?
art direction was really, really stunning actually in a lot of places. I thought that it is very Blade Runner-esque. It's like,
Yes.
here's
Very
this,
Total Recall as well.
yeah, this gritty city that you can see the scars and the growing pains of technological advancement in the city. And it's very, appropriately sci-fi, and I really enjoyed seeing like on the ground.
I did too.
Kind of the gross,
Yeah.
sad.
I love Batu's car. I
Oh,
thought it was very
man.
anime.
Yeah, his
Good
car's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
He's just a cool character
I like
in
Batu,
general.
yeah.
We also liked some of the action. I think the action choreography was actually really cool in a lot of places, and
Yeah.
ScarJo does a lot of her own stunts, so it's really, really
I
cool
did
to
enjoy
see.
that, yeah. When she's just like running down hallways, taking people out.
Just kicking ass.
Yeah, I did like the action.
Yeah, the geisha bots are one of my favorite parts of the movie, actually. Just phenomenally designed and creepy and like uncanny valley in that they're supposed to be like helper people, but not people, and it's just so haunting. I loved it.
Which brings us to what we disliked about this movie. It's a good segue because speaking of the geisha,
Yes.
Rila Fukushima is in the opening credits for this movie, and I liked her in The Wolverine, and I liked her in Arrow.
Yeah.
So
We were
what's
excited.
Yeah, we were excited. I'm like, oh great, so what is the character that Rila Fukushima is going to play? You never see her. She's
What?
not in this movie.
What character does she play, Chastity?
They used her face for a cast as the design of the geisha, and that is it. So it's like, hey, you want to be in this movie? Yeah. You want to be a robot? Totally. Cool, you're the geisha.
Yeah, cool. Your face is just perfect for
That's
a
it.
geisha bot.
Help me. Please, don't let me die.
Who sent you?
The backstory we get on Scarlett Johansson's Major is that the brain, if you aren't familiar with Ghost in the Shell, the brain at the core of her cybernetic robot body belonged to somebody who died, and they salvaged the brain, and she has a little bit of her soul, her ghost, left in that shell, hence the title. So we get the story of she's just this girl who was killed, and her parents were killed, and all this stuff, and terrorists did it. And I was like, okay,
All
a
right.
little different from the original Major Kusanagi, and that's fine.
Sure. It's a different person, that's fine. Okay, I'm a little more accepting of it here. And then
And then,
they reveal at the end that she's been a Japanese girl this whole time.
and then there's this scene where she meets her mom,
Yeah.
who has a very thick accent, and they inexplicably don't switch to Japanese, even though she knows.
She knows that she's her
It's her
daughter.
mom.
She's
She
like,
understands
she
Japanese.
understands. She's a robot. She understands.
She can do it.
She can do it. And that was the most jarring scene, to see Scarlett Johansson hugging her Japanese mom.
You cannot have a story about identity and then completely erase and ignore the protagonist's actual true self. It's just not right. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that, on top of the whitewashing, just makes for bad sci-fi.
I agree.
Maybe next time you can design me better.
So aside from whitewashing, let's look at this as a film. Really bad dialogue, poorly adapted from the original source material.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, the anime parallel scenes are in a different order, so the storytelling is different, and I think in some ways that works, and in some ways it doesn't. And there's this one scene where they're in a club, and
It goes on for far too long.
a useless scene. I feel like they cut important things to make way for this scene where Scarlett Johansson is getting sort of like harassed by these dudes, and it's uncomfortable, and they're like trying to make her dance, and then she says,
I wasn't built to dance.
it's trying so hard to be an action movie when that's not really what Ghost in the Shell is, and that's fine if it has succeeded. But the banter is just so ham-fisted in a lot of places.
And also really bad character development. So we don't
Poor.
really learn about any of these characters.
Yeah.
I don't know what Batu's about. I don't know.
We know that he likes dogs.
Yes, he likes dogs.
He likes dogs, and then he has
That's
his fancy
it.
eyes.
Yeah, there's no character development here at all.
Nothing. And then Togusa in the source material is the only person in Section 9, which is kind of their like little group of robot peeps. He is kind of like the traditional like beat cop. He has no cybernetic enhancements. This man in this film has maybe 3 scenes. He's an important foil. He's the only person who doesn't have any enhancements, and he helps you examine what humanity means in this universe, and he's absent.
Great.
And he's also one of the only other Asian actors. Although we did like one of the characters, which was
Takeshi Kitano played
Armaki,
and
kind
he
of
was
who heads Section 9, and
he only
was
speaks Japanese.
cool.
Yeah, but he was cool.
It's a little weird that he's the only person who really speaks Japanese. I think there's one other guy who says one line in Japanese.
And that's
but everyone understands him, and so it's kind of weird that they're not just speaking Japanese. But he was such a cool character, and I really, really enjoyed his development because he was badass.
Yeah. Will anime fans like this?
No, I really don't think so. If you want to see the parallels, just watch the trailers. That's where they are.
Will non-anime fans like this?
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm gonna say a hard maybe. So give it a shot if you're just looking for a cool Scarlett Johansson action movie.
Just looking for an actiony, cool, super weird sci-fi.
Sure.
Fine.
Yeah. What should people do besides watch Ghost in the Shell?
You could watch Psycho-Pass.
Yeah, you could watch any anime ever.
Yeah, you could read the manga.
Yeah, you can wash your dishes.
You could do your laundry.
Wash your sheets.
When was the last time you washed your sheets?
Seriously.
That's gross.
Also, hit that button.
Yeah. Hit that subscribe button because we have so much more anime. Maybe watch some of these videos.